Hello guys, let's solve this question 55 and 56 in this video. The question says, use the figure line graph below to answer question 55 and 56. It shows the number of international tourist arrivals from 2011 to 2016 in Bhutan. The question says, which year has the highest number of tourist arrival? One of the trick that I can tell you in this question is, just you see the choice. We can see that 2011, 14, 15, 16. Just you take the data which are given in this option to compare. You neither have to take all of this because any of one should be the answer, right? So you neither have to waste time by doing all the unnecessary tasks. Okay, so in this video, in this question, you can ignore this 2013 in this question, you can see, right? So what we should do is that which year has the highest number of tourist arrival, which means here, if you see this carefully, this line is for East Asia and the Pacific tourists arriving from this one countries. Then this one is Northeast Asia, this rectangle one, and this triangle one is from Europe. So you can see the increasing trend of the tourist arrival every year for few years, and then some are decreasing. The first thing you can do is to understand the graph very carefully before you do or you solve this kind of problem. So if you see this very carefully, what we have to do is we have to add up all the numbers here for this, like this, all the numbers every year, okay, like this, and this one to get the highest number of tourist arrival. So if you see this very carefully, 2011 will be not the answer because this is the lowest, and all of these three countries, the tourist arrival is almost same, which is almost like 0, right? So 2011 is not the answer. Okay, so you can compare 2014, 15 and 16 because these are the choices that are given. So you don't have to do 2012 and 2013. So for 2014, you can say 2014 you can add up this data: 32 105 plus 15 550 plus 12 957. Okay, so let me bring my calculator here. 32 105 plus 15 550 plus 12 957, 12 957. I get 60,612 tourists. And for 2015 I get 24,668 plus 14,356 plus 13,710, which will be, let me bring my calculator again, 24,668 plus 14,356 plus 13,710. So I get 52,734 tourists. And 2016, I have to add up all this again, and I will get now 3288 plus 16893 plus 14361. So you will get 3288 plus 16893 plus 14361. You get 61,542. So if you see very carefully, among these our 2016 is the greatest. So our right answer is 2016. So you have to solve like this. Okay, now question 56 says all of the following statements are true except, which means among these four statements, one statement is false. So you have to find the statement which is false. So our options reads, number of tourist arrivals dropped in 2013. So if you see this very carefully, see this for 2013, this one, the graph, see the graph, all of these three graphs lies like they have decreased, right? So you can see that this is the correct. Okay, And it says East Asia and Pacific constitutes less than 50% of the tourist arrival in 2014. So here you have to do little bit of maths here. So you have to find how many percentage of the tourists arrived in 2014 are actually East Asia and the Pacific. So if you see this very carefully, this is the number of tourists arrived from East Asia and the Pacific, and these are from other countries. So to calculate the percentage, first you have to have the total number of tourists arrived in 2014. So 2014 we have 6612 tourists, and in 2014 30 out of 60,612, 32,105 tourists have arrived from East Asia and Pacific. So to calculate the percentage, just you have to do 32,105 divided by 6612 times 100. So you can get, let me bring my calculator, 32,105 divided by 6612 times 100. Can you see? It is 52.96. So you can almost say 52 almost 53, right? Percentage. So it says East Asia and Pacific constitute less than, which means here you got greater than 50%. So this option seems to be incorrect, and this is the one which we have to choose. And let me see other answers also. Number of tourist arrival in 2011 for all these three continents is almost the same. You see very carefully, yes, all of this graph converge as 2011, which means all of the number of arrival is almost the same. It is correct. Number of tourist arrivals in East Asia and Pacific exceeded the arrival from Europe. If you see this very carefully, see this triangle, this graph represents the number of tourists arrived from this one, Europe, right? And see this East Asia and Pacific means this is the graph which represents this one, East Asia and Pacific. If you see this carefully, this trend line is upper or is above this trend line, which means these tourist numbers are greater than this Europe, which means this is correct in this. So our answer is that we have to choose the odd one, which is the incorrect one. So we can say that B is the incorrect one, which means it's not less than 50 but is greater than 50%. So this is the answer. Thank you, La.